The Gundam franchise is probably one of the most iconic franchises to come out of Japan. From its humble beginnings in 1979 to, at the time of this review, the upcoming The Witch from Mercury series premiering in October 2022 in Japan, Gundam has had a multitude of series. Whether you're following the main Universal Century timeline, or one of the alternate timelines which generally establishes themselves as their own series with their own worlds and continuity, it's safe to say that if you're a fan of Gundam, you like giant robots shooting beams at each other, or in the case of Iron-Blooded Orphans, firing a different sort of beam. With today's review, we'll be looking at SD Gundam Battle Alliance, an action game where you explore the different Gundam timelines piloting a SD or Super Deformed mobile suit. As a spoiler warning, as this game goes through a lot of the Gundam series, there will be spoilers as it focuses on key parts of the series. I have also recorded the console version of this game as for some reason NVidia Shadowplay doesn't want to play ball with the PC version at the time of footage capture. SD Gundam Battle Alliance begins in Universal Century 0079 during the events of Mobile Suit Gundam, the first series. In this game, you play as a self-insert male pilot doubling as the commander of the Gavarode Squadron, a team who is collecting battle data for the Earth Federation's new mass-produced robots, or mobile suits as they're called in Universe. The beginning of the game is set during Operation Odessa, a key point of Mobile Suit Gundam's one-year war, and the turning point for the Earth Federation in their war against the Principality of Zeon. Suddenly you are transported to another part of the one-year war where you must defend the Federation ship White Base from an attack by Zeon forces. The thing is, that event happened before Operation Odessa, and the Zeon-ass Rambarao in his goofed mobile suit suddenly changes to the Gundam Barbatos from Iron-Blooded Orphans, a completely different unit from a completely different universe. After briefly fighting, Barbatos leaves and you are then transported to an unknown facility alongside your operator and childhood friend Juno Asterte and robotic companion Haro. At this facility, the two of you get acquainted with an AI codenamed SACRA/1351420, who is then nicknamed Sakura Slash going forward by Yuno. Sakura explains that the G Universe, a computer database where simulations of events that have happened in the Gundam universe, has been affected by breaks, where events don't go as initially intended, or guests from other series appear in events in places where they shouldn't be, and it's up to the three of you to correct these breaks and complete the true mission so that key events happen as intended. Good thing you happen to be a master pilot who's capable of piloting any mobile suit with ease, and Juno just conveniently happens to be an expert programmer. Standing in your way is the administrative system of G Universe and the mysterious Hermes Mercury, a man wearing red glasses piloting the Gundam Latrefste. But is he really friend or foe? The game will have you piloting different mobile suits as you go around correcting key events throughout Gundam's history. But is the game any good? Find out in The Good. I do like the game's battle system and gameplay. The developer Artdink also developed the Gundam Battle series for the PSP, and this game uses an updated and expanded system. Your mobile suit can perform melee attacks and has weapons assigned to a main ranged weapon and two sub-weapons. The sub-weapons can be additional ranged weapons or a special melee attack. When the ranged and sub-weapons are used, it depletes their ammo count, and once the ammo count reaches 0, you cannot use the weapon until the bar underneath the weapon recovers. The bar will naturally recover if the weapon is not used, so you can save time by not depleting the weapon and waiting a shorter amount of time for it to replenish. You have light and heavy melee attacks, and holding the attack button will result in a special move. The light attack button results in you using a spin attack, which is good for damaging multiple enemies, and the heavy attack button is a launcher which may launch the enemy up in the air for you to continue a combo on. You have a boost gauge which depletes whenever you use your thrusters and attack, so keep an eye on that. Mobile suits are split into 3 classes. You have infighters who specialise in melee attacks and drawing the attention of the enemies, sharpshooters who specialise in ranged attacks but lacking in health, and all-rounders who are a jack-of-all-trades, master of none. Each class also has a role action which complements their strengths and can be enhanced further with pilot skills which you gain from levelling up after completing missions. Units can also activate chain breakers. This replenishes your boost gauge and is very handy for extending your combos. The chain breakers can also double as a reversal if you're being attacked by an enemy and need to create some breathing room. You also have a special attack which is a suit's signature move from their respective series, such as the Zeta Gundam's Wave Rider Crash for example, where it transforms into its Wave Rider mode and rams itself against an enemy. Special attacks do take time before they're available to use, and once used, you'll need to wait for it to recharge before using it again. The game also features perfect sidesteps and perfect guards, with the latter if used against a mobile suit, resulting in a counterattack. As you go through the game, you can unlock blueprints which allow you to use mobile suits from different Gundam series, and some may require you to replay the mission more than once, so the game does encourage replayability. On top of that, you may also experience chaos missions where a really powerful unit will appear and will drop blueprints for a different mobile suit for you to unlock. Usually these powerful units need to be found first before you do battle with them. Once the blueprint is complete, you can also use that mobile suit and its respective pilot to assist you as one of your two partners, and you can gain bond points with them in order to hear new lines when you deploy. Some pilots have unique lines with one another when it comes down to pilot behaviour, being in the same timeline, or a voice actor/actress reference, and I did like pairing up different pilots from time to time. Partner suits also have their special attacks available and you can use them at the press of a button, but like yours, they also require time to recharge between uses too. Completing missions may earn you capital that you can spend to upgrade, as well as parts that you can equip to your mobile suits to customise and enhance them further in terms of performance. Part attributes are randomised, so again encourages replayability to get the right parts, or ones with better stats. You can also get parts which upgrade the level cap of your unit, allowing you to upgrade them further and add more parts on. I did enjoy what the gameplay had to offer. It was simple to learn and rewarding to master. I also enjoyed the game's story. It was interesting to see how messed up key parts of Gundam history got and who appeared in events from different series and or timelines. If you're familiar with how some series end or how events go, you can probably sympathise with Juno for trying to find a more positive outcome for them, but being pained to know that you have to correct the events so that history plays out as intended. Without spoiling too much, this is mainly around iron-blooded orphans, but if you know 0080 War in the Pocket, that gets hinted at as well. Even Zeta Gundam is acknowledged given the events of the original series, and the 2004 to 2006 A New Translation compilation movies have different endings. The game won't bore you by going into great detail if you're familiar with the Gundam series and events, but will add a scene in the library which you can play between missions, if you want to learn more, which is appreciated. The game's multiplayer I thought was pretty solid as well. A lot of players in the lobbies I found were at max level, but multiplayer is a great way to go through the story if you ever get stuck or struggle in it, as you'll generally find human players hold their own much better than the AI controlled partners. Surprise, surprise. However, you cannot play through levels that another player hasn't unlocked yet, so someone who's only at chapter 5 for example can't play chapter 7 levels, though you can help them progress by playing through their chapter 5 stages. Playing multiplayer is also a great way to earn capital and get parts, and I'm always for cooperative play. However, there are things I wasn't for, and let's look at what didn't work so well in the bad. While I appreciate the amount of suits available, I'm a little disappointed that there was a strong start to being able to play as grunt suits, and then it ditches them altogether. The majority of the grunt suits available are from the 1 Year War, such as the GM, Zaku-2 and Dom. You do have some unique units available, such as Norris Packard's Goof Custom, which is a beast to use by the way, from the 8th MS team, or Mikhail Kamensky's Kempfer from War in the Pocket, as well as Shara's Nabel's Zagok and Galgoog from the original Mobile Suit Gundam. But what if I wanted to play as a Leo or a Taurus from Gundam Wing? Or maybe a Jinx from Gundam 00? Hell, some unique units you can assist or fight against in the game aren't even available to play, such as Bernie Wiseman's Zaku-2 Kai from War in the Pocket. 0083 Stardust Memory is unusually underrepresented, with only the GP03S Gundam Starman available instead of the GP01, and by extension GP01FB, and GP02, when that series is perfect for the game in terms of scenario. If you're not familiar with the Gundam series, I do apologise since it just sounds like I'm rambling at this point, but at least the series I've rambled about have their own scenarios. Series such as Turn A Gundam and Gundam X are missing their own stories, and even newer stories like Gundam Thunderbolt are given this treatment too, with units from these series only appearing in Chaos missions as powerful units to beat in order to unlock them. If the Gundam battle games can get away with allowing you to play as so many different suits, including grunt suits in a non-SD form too mind you, then I can't see why they couldn't expand the roster in this game to account for more of them too. Given some of the series, some missions as well would also help pad out the length of the game and make those series feel more included, rather than tacked on as an afterthought. I'm not a huge fan of the mobile armor fights, especially when playing single player. I get it, there's supposed to be a large boss that you're supposed to work with your teammates to beat since they have stupid amounts of health and can absorb lots of damage. But in single player, you even do so much as hit a mobile armor and it'll treat you like you've massacred its family or something by attacking you from the opposite side of the area you're in and being quite relentless. Thankfully I can manage, but when you have to grind levels to get stronger and a couple of the chaos missions have you dealing with 2 mobile armors, thankfully one after the other, then I don't blame you for feeling a little worn out afterwards. Some mobile armors have eye fields, and what that means is that they're immune to beam attacks. Thankfully, the eye field is shown as a separate bar that can be depleted by using beam attacks, and once depleted, your beam attacks will do extra damage. Until the boss replenishes it. I found AI partners were pretty useless at helping me deplete the bar, and even in general when trying to reduce the health of mobile armors. So multiplayer is a huge benefit there, as I feel the mobile armor targets more equally as opposed to having some vendetta against you. If you or one of your partners lose all of your health, for some reason the remaining AI will keep the mobile armor distracted around the down unit, making it difficult for your other partner, or you if they're down, to revive them. If you're lucky, the mobile armor will speed off to the opposite side of the area so you can revive your partner, just so it notices you and comes right back. But as long as you're quick enough, it's only game over if both your partners and you are incapacitated. Long story short, mobile armor fights are not fun. Also, what's up with the game not having a proper pause feature? I get it for online play, but if I'm playing offline with AI characters, why doesn't the action pause whenever I press the pause button and go into the menus? If I need to get up and grab a drink or use the bathroom, then pausing the game is a natural part of it, and even games where the game continues while you're in menus have safe areas. But if let's say something comes up and you need to be away for a while, each mission has a 30-minute time limit, and if you really gotta go when fighting a boss, you're putting yourself at risk of losing all of the parts and upgrades when fighting them or a mobile armor. At least have the action pause when you go into the pause menu for single player. I mean, it's not Dark Souls. Other than that, I think I've rambled long enough, so let's wrap it up with the opinion. Despite the issues I had, which I think were more personal, SD Gundam Battle Alliance is a pretty solid game at the end of the day. For an SD Gundam game, it looks great, plays well and has a story that kept me interested. Sorta wish they allowed you to play as the grunts and maybe tone down the mobile armor battles, and perhaps introduce a proper pause feature, but I managed through the game at normal difficulty and got by with some difficulty on hard with AI partners, so it's not impossible. If you like a hack and slash Gundam game, such as the Dynasty Warriors Gundam series, Gundam Breaker series, or Battle Operation 2 / Code Fury, or you've played the Gundam Battle games on the PSP, then I think this game will scratch the itch. I did have fun with the time I spent in the game, and I'm hoping we might see a non-SD version of a game like this in future, but I'm cautiously optimistic since I remember Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire / Target in Sight. So with that, it's time for my rating. I would give SD Gundam Battle Alliance the SD Zeta Gundam out of 10. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next Infinite Backlog review. If you enjoyed today's review, feel free to check out some of our other videos and subscribe for more. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram and our Facebook page. Once again, thank you for watching.